My name's Rosemary Manners, and I'm talking about one of my favourite subjects with you today. I'm talking about teas, but not only teas, it's the healing effect of teas and how you can make them at home for your next herbal tea party. So I think what we drink is so underestimated. What we put into our body is liquid. We don't often think enough about it, and it's another way of therapeutic, changing, healing, gaining a different emotions. So I love tea, and I hope by the end of this program you'll love tea as much as I do. So okay, we're going to look at 5 different teas, and we're going to think of them more as medicine. We're going to think of, like, we take our tablets, whether they're the medical tablets, or we might do evidence-based supplements, or we might look at food as a form as medicine, but we really want to look at what we're drinking and what we're putting into our drink. So here's the number one. The number one secret is we need to drink more. Most people I test when they come into my clinic are dehydrated. So if nothing else you walk away with, but I hope you're going to walk away with a lot more, is to drink more. Drink more water. Water is what hydrates our body the most, the best. Find as much clean water as you can and keep on drinking it. But in winter, sometimes we don't feel like drinking water as much. Sometimes we want a bit more therapy than what water can give us, and that's where tea is so fantastic. So who are you going to have a tea party with? Are you going to have it with your mother? Are you going to have it with your father? Is it going to be a family tea party? Are you going to connect with your friends? Or why don't have a tea party with yourself, connecting with you? Tea is a great connection tool. So not only can you have a therapeutic response, you can actually use it as a way of connecting. Oh, wow. So I think I've already told you my name is Rosemary Manners, and I'm often known as Gut Girl because I'm so into gut healing. But I'm also very interested in teas and looking at different ingredients that we make our teas and see if we can build up a therapeutic response from them. So each of my tea has a different personality, and I've brought 5 of my favourites here to share with you and to give you some extra ideas what you can do with the teas once you get them. Okay, so the first one has been my most popular one up to now. It's been out of stock. I know, I'm sorry, for the last 2 weeks, but it'll be back in stock tomorrow. Have you guessed what it is? It's pain-free within. So a lot of people are suffering from chronic pain, whether it's stomach pain, headache, pain from injury, pain from disease, or just pain from being inflamed. We're ready to run a really fast life. And so a lot of the time is we're trying to reduce inflammation. So let's put together a tea for inflammation. So what would you put in it? I think you'll all guess turmeric. So yes, it's a turmeric tea, but it tastes different from any of the other turmeric teas or lattes. Turmeric latte is very big at the moment, but it tastes very different because I've used the power of pumpkin. So the tea, this is a tea here, and I'll see if I can show it to you, but it's actually got little bits of pumpkin. So this is, let's see if we can find it. This has got little pumpkin bits in it. I don't know whether you can see it. It's quite yellow from the turmeric, and you can pick out little bits of pumpkin in it. And pumpkin has an anti-inflammatory reaction too. But we've teamed together. You can see there's, let's see if you can see on the screen, there's all different colours there because there's lots of different ingredients. So let me read out the ingredient list so that you've got all the ideas. There's rosehip petals, so great for vitamin C. There's apple, there's grapes, there's cinnamon. We love cinnamon to activate the tea, to help with the circulation. There's a pumpkin I've already told you about, so that's the anti-inflammatory, one of the anti-inflammatories in it. There's coriander, there's cardamom, there's cloves. Black pepper. So black pepper's actually in there to activate the turmeric, to make the turmeric more bioavailable. Got it. So it's in there, and sunflower petals. And so it makes this beautiful tea. And I know you can't smell it from there, but it's got a really rich turmeric pumpkin smell about it. And the best way I can describe it is when you're drinking it, it's like pumpkin pie. So it's like drinking pumpkin pie. So it's definitely one to try. I'm just trying to get rid of, making sure I'm not putting pumpkin all over me, but great pumpkin pie. So, okay, we're at a tea party. We're drinking our pain-free within tea. So when you're making the tea, I think it's always good to leave it about 8 minutes so the ingredients from the tea can seep into the water, and so they have a therapeutic effect on you. But there's no problem with leaving it longer. You might put the boiling water in, and you might add some ice and have it as a cold tea. You might add extra ingredients, and I love adding extra ingredients. So I might chop a bit of fresh turmeric and put it in for added inflammation. But one of my favourite things with going with pain-free within tea is having a magnesium chaser. So you can magnesium is fantastic for pain. It relaxes those muscles. So if I'm thinking I'm in pain, I'm in inflammation, I'm also thinking of magnesium. So I have been known to throw a scoop of magnesium in my teapot. That tastes very yummy. But you might want to have it separate or have a chaser around the table. So you just use the powder, magnesium powder, and you just mix it with water, or you can put it in the teapot. And that will sort of give you an extra anti-inflammatory effect, and it'll really help with that pain that you're suffering. If you're in chronic pain, there's nothing wrong with drinking this tea throughout the day. I usually have a litre teapot, and I'll make up a litre and have it on my desk at work, or take it along in my water container at the gym, or I might carry it around, or have it in the shop because I'm in the shop, or have a teapot handy, or I've got all different strategies to surround myself with therapeutic things to drink. That way I'm hydrated. That way I'm treating my body, and my body goes longer and further, and it's treated at the same time, and it's easy. Tea's easy to make, and it's such a good connection with people, connecting with people with tea. So I hope you're inspired already, because that's just number 1. We've got 5. So that's my pain-free within. So strategies to reduce pain and inflammation, and the extra added is adding a magnesium chaser with it. So that's beautiful. That is beautiful, and it's my favourite one at the moment, and it's been your favourite one, and thank you very much for coming in, buying it all, and I'll have some more in store tomorrow. Okay, so one of my oldies, but still very good, and people have been coming back again and again, and I had this as one of my original teas, is my Healthy Heart Within. So we know cardiovascular disease, we know autoimmunity, we know if you've had a history of cancer, that antioxidants are your answer. So you should surround yourself with antioxidants. So that's all the foods you're eating, all the colourful foods. You're getting as much nutrition in your food, but how about your drink? You could put antioxidants in your drink. And so that's where I've designed a green tea with acai berry and goji berry. So the 2 biggest antioxidants, really fantastic antioxidants, in with the green tea, which is an antioxidant in itself. In fact, in cardiovascular disease and in some studies with cancer, they say you should be drinking 6 cups of green tea a day. So let's drink our green tea along with the antioxidants. It gives it extra flavour and extra zing. So we want to keep our cardiovascular system as healthy as we can. So let me tell you, Healthy Heart Tea, and let me tell you what's in this. Let's see if I can make it so you can see and let's see if I could put it in front of the camera. So you can see it looks completely different to the last one. It's got these big fat green leaves, which is the green tea. You can also see a bit of hibiscus in there. That's the little pink things. Can you see the little pink thing, hibiscus? Again, antioxidant. It's got a bit of rosehip in. It's got the apple. It's got goji. You can actually see little pieces of raspberry, and that gives it a bit of a pinkish sort of colour. And so it smells really green. It smells beautiful. You get the smell of the green tea with a bit of the sweetness of the acai berry. So it smells delicious. It's all I can say. And so that's a fantastic tea. And I'm going to encourage you, if you've got any cardiovascular history or anything where you're looking for antioxidants, is to consider this tea and drinking it throughout the day. But I don't stop there. So if I really want to change things, I might want to superpower my tea. So I have a tea to really superpower it. I have this tea, and it's sort of like a Mediterranean diet in the teapot. And so I add parsley, I add lemon juice, and I add garlic to my tea. And it's like a heart booster. And it's just an extra booster that you put on the tea. it taste absolutely marvelous. I love the parsley, and the parsley we know is very high with vitamin C and very, very good with antioxidants, and it helps with the cardiovascular health as a food, but it can as a tea too. So I love throwing that into my cardiovascular story so that I know I'm getting extra boosts throughout the day. So high blood pressure, cholesterol, any sort of heart arrhythmias, this is a great tea to drink, and you've got the therapy through the day, and getting enough water into you to keep yourself hydrated so that your blood volume is fantastic of blood volume, and your heart has all the chance it possibly can. So that's my sort of heart booster tea. So I'm getting the healthy heart within and giving it extra boost. And that was with lemon juice, garlic, and parsley. So yum. So far, we've done really well. We've had my very favourite tea, my pumpkin pie, which is pain-free tea within. It's got the pumpkin, the turmeric, all the spices in. And we've had my number 2, one of my oldies, one of my goodies, fantastic for cardiovascular health. And we know cardiovascular is a big story in Australia. Like, more people die of cardiovascular health than anything else at the moment in Australia. So paying attention to cardiovascular, because it tends to be something that's with you for a long time. So it's quite easy to forget that you've got a cardiovascular risk factors. So getting this tea into you on a regular basis and using the way of what you drink to help with your healing, it's just another avenue where you can get healthier as you go. It's just through the decisions you make every day. Okay, so I've had 2 teas. We're up to one of my other bestsellers, and it's been around for a while, but I run you must not, or you may or may not know, but I run a very large weight loss clinic, and I've done it for a long time. I've actually written a book about weight loss, and weight loss is a very important thing in Australia, and in fact, 2/3 of us are carrying too much body fat. So again, using liquids as a helper. And it's really interesting out there because this market has been zapped up with zeros and things that are sort of telling you that these liquids are supposed to tell you you're losing weight. But what I see in my clinic is quite the opposite. These super drinks, these super soft drinks tend to create sort of barriers for our body to be able to metabolize the food as cleanly as we can, and it really affects that sugar metabolism type pathway. So even though we might think we're really helping ourselves and we're really doing something really good, look what the packet says, it says 0, it says clean, it says I'm going to burn fat while I'm drinking it, it doesn't really work, because if it did, we wouldn't have a problem in Australia because everybody drinks this stuff. So think again, think about other ways of using drink as your therapy. And so I've created a thing within tea. So people ask me, well, how did you choose what's in it? What ingredients are in it? And I'm choosing the ingredients to boost your metabolism. The faster your metabolism goes, the more ability that you have to fat burn. And so instead of just drinking plain water, which is good because in weight loss you need water, and so it's really important to be hydrated in weight loss. But what about sort of enhancing that effect a little bit more? So green tea, we know, there's plenty of scientific studies. You can go and look at PubMed. We know green tea helps with weight loss. So let's start off with a green tea base. Let's add some cinnamon. We know cinnamon helps with blood sugars. And in fact, when I'm making this up at home, I often add an extra scroll of cinnamon because I want as much cinnamon effect as possible to get that blood sugar pathway working really well. I add some nettle. So nettle is an anti-inflammatory, it's a depurative, it cleans things up as it goes. There's some chamomile, a bit of a calmative to turn on the adrenal pathway. I love a licorice that again supports the adrenals. We've got juniper berries, and that's a diuretic. So that's sort of removing toxins from the body and helping with the flow of the fluid through your body. And again, so it's activated with some rose hips for the vitamin C action. So, and actually there's also a study on rose hips and weight loss too. So you can Google that and find the study, but there's some really good positive studies with rose hip used as a therapy for weight loss. So let me show you this, because again, it's very good to be able to see it. Let's see if you can see that. So you can see the green tea background. And you can see the little berries in it. There's a little bit of nettle in there. You can see the nettle, the chamomile. Oh, I wonder if you can see this little chamomile. There's a little chamomile, little flower in there, the calming ingredient. The root, the yellow root, is the licorice root. There you go. It's a little bit of licorice root. Juniper berries. You can see the little juniper berry, the little blackberries. All these create a therapeutic action in your tea. How cool is that? Oh, I get so excited. Anyway, therapeutic tea. But you don't need to stop there. So I'm a bit crazy. I'm a bit zany. I know I'm a bit crazy, but there you go. I have come up with these great ideas. So, okay, I made my thing within tea, but I also know if I'm losing weight, I've got to get my protein. I've got to make sure that I get up to the 90 to 100 grams of protein a day. And so, I'm a bit crazy, but sometimes I put a protein shot into my tea. And I'll use like a lean clean protein or something that's just protein. Sometimes from whey powder, more often than not, I get one of the legumes ones. I make the tea up. I might let it go a bit cooler. Then I'll throw a bit of protein powder in it and whiz it up. And it's fun. It's nice. It's helping me in more ways than one. It's boosting my metabolism and then boosting my protein. The protein also has an added thing is it fills me up. I'm not hungry. So it sort of keeps me going for longer and further. Because the thing is, when I'm weight loss, I want the same amount of energy as when I'm not weight lossing. I know weight loss is not about sitting around, being lethargic, being lack of energy. I don't want to be hungry. I want to have heaps of energy, and I want to get my metabolism going, and I want to boost that metabolism so that I can burn body fat. At the same time, I want to be really hydrated so that things are moving through my body, because if I'm weight lossing, it has to go somewhere. So I want a well-formed stool twice a day. So I need to stay hydrated, and it's usually more than what I've had before, because I can tell you a secret, in clinic, people are mostly dehydrated. So keep on drinking, keep on finding strategies. It's a really underestimated way of healing, is looking at what you're drinking. So let's go onward bound. Let's have a bit more of what we're drinking. I have another idea. So we've already had 3 fantastic ideas, if I do say myself, but I hope you think they're as fantastic as I do. So we've had our pain-free tea, chronic inflammation, things that hurt. Pain-free tea is absolutely amazing. And it's been so popular, and thank you everybody, you think it's amazing too, so that's good. Healthy heart tea, which is the goji berry, acai berry, green tea base, and we've just had another green tea one, which is our metabolism tea. It's a thin within tea to boost our metabolism. And so what I often do with that is I might put a protein shot in it. I might add some extra cinnamon, a cinnamon scroll in the bottom. Okay, so there's our 3 first ones. Where we go to next? I wonder what season it is. Do you know what season it is? We're nearly up to spring, which to me is so exciting because I don't like the cold. But things come with spring. What happens in spring? People start sneezing. The flowers come out and we have a lot of sneezes around. So my next tea is all about sneezing. It's to stop that allergic type reaction. And we've got some fantastic herbs that will help us with that. So herbs like elderberry. So elderberry is one of the most antiviral things that I know, and it tastes fantastic. So let's put it in our tea. So we've got elderberry, we've got lemongrass, we've got fennel, and we've got mint, and we've got peppermint, and we've got cactus root, and we've got put some sunflower petals in there as well. And I think there's some mullein too, which is like a lung herb that we pop in. So it's a beautiful cleaning out your sinuses type herbs. We've often got the vaporizer in the background with our Breathe Easy oil in, all about cleaning up those sinuses, getting you to breathe a little bit better, getting those noses clear. Your sinuses actually go from the bottom of your eyes, or there's some on top too, all the way down to your teeth. That's why sometimes in spring, when all your sinuses are activated, you actually get tooth pain. It's not so much the tooth, it's the inflammation right in the bottom of those sinuses. So we want to stay well away from dairy, and that's where tea comes in. Like, it's a great thing to drink, but this tea is all about clearing those sinuses and clearing out that congestion in your head and stopping that sort of allergic type reaction. So it's really clean and breezy sort of tea that I like, sort of when it comes to spring and using the power of the earth to clear my head. But sometimes I like to extra power it. Like if I've had a really sort of feel like my immune system needs a little boost, I've actually got an elderberry flu shots. It's like elderberry tonic straight from the berries. And it's quite sweet too. So I just throw it in the tea and it just activates it and it tastes absolutely beautiful. So you can extra activate it with a bit of the elderberry flu shot that we've got, and just to make it that extra immune sort of hammer in the background. So that's fantastic, and it's really a fantastic tea. It's quite delicate, but you need something delicate when it comes to spring and when things are starting to get warm and you want to go out and you want to do things and you don't want to be congested. You don't want to have that allergy head. You want to go out and start enjoying the sort of like the spring, the new growth, the new trees. And yeah, I know the flowers are going to spark you off, but being out there and spending a bit more time outdoors, we can do that if we get our sinuses under control. So try the sneezer. It'll really make it fun. Activate it more with some elderberry if you like to sort of give it that extra kick. And this is the season. This is nearly the season. We're just getting ready for the season. We'll get over this bit of a viral hump that we're having at the moment. You might find that elderberry flu shot comes in this month as well, because we've got a bit of a virus whizzing around Sydney at the moment. We've had lots of people in the pharmacy, but after that virus will come that congestion of spring. So using herbs to really make a difference, using what you drink to make a difference is the one that makes a difference to me. The one that I think is one of my strengths, that I keep on going. And my friends say to me, how do you do it? How do you do so many things? Well, I love the tea. The tea is my extra boost. It gets me there. And talking about boost, I'm going to now tell you the tea that I drink all day long. So I've just worked, and I'm not bragging about it, but I have just worked 2 humongous days, because in pharmacy it might be different from other jobs. There's no 9 to 5. I know you all work long hours, but we're on our feet and we go for 11 hours a day. And you want to be as peppy and excited with the first customer that walks in the shop at 8 o'clock with the last customer that walks in at 7:30 at night. So you can't just sort of be okay for half the day. And so I do have a secret weapon for that. And it's called my Energizer tea. And you might have tasted it because we often have it in the pharmacy. It's a rooibos tea, because we know rooibos gives us endurance and stamina. We put some cacao kernels in it, some pepper, some chicory root, ginger, cardamom, and the last ingredient is a little bit of cinnamon. So they're the real roots that give you that real power to power on through. So I often have a jug of it or a big teapot out the back, and I'll be drinking it throughout the day. And you know, the other thing about me, I don't know whether you worked it out or not. You might have already watched a few of my videos. You might have worked out that I'm one of these adrenal junkies. I try and always fit in more than I have time for. And yeah, I'll put my hand up for that. I am that. So I want something to really support my adrenals throughout the day, and that's where Energizer comes in. It's a really great adrenal support for people that try and do too much, like me, 12-hour shifts, need a bit more, need something extra. The adrenal tea will get you through. But is it enough? Sometimes not. Sometimes you didn't sleep the night before and you need something a bit extra. So I usually splash a bit of my adrenal tonic in there. And of course it's called Energizer as well, but it's high-grade licorice, and it's bound in there with Romania and rhodiola, the 2 herbs that really nurture and look after the adrenals. So I don't drink coffee, so I use it as my coffee substitute. Like a lot of people jump out of bed and think, how am I going to get through my whatever I've got to do that day? They're drinking coffee infusion during the day. Well, I find Energizer, if I can support my adrenals in a different way from coffee, I usually find it just lasts longer and I get more out of it. So that is an alternative, is to actually use the Energizer tonic as a substitute for coffee. Or do what I do. I make my Energizer tea. I put a little bit of Energizer tonic inside my tea. So the taste of licorice really lifts the other sort of roots in there, and gives it a really beautiful sort of I don't know, how do you care? A really stamina sort of feeling. Let's see if I can show it to you. Oh, this smells so good. I think it's the chocolate, the cacao. Let's see if you can see that. See a little cacao all the way through it? So cool, this tea. What else can you see? You might see a little bit of the ginger. You might see there's a cardamom. There's cardamom. See that cardamom? You can see the rooibos, the brown rooibos base. You can see the little cacao nibs in there. Smells heavenly. It's like chocolate and rooibos and cardamom and spice. A bit like a glühwein on steroids. Anyway, give it a go. I love it. Those long days where I need more. I need a bit more zing. That's where it comes in. So let's do a little bit of a recap, because we've learned lots of things. We've learned our 5 teas that we're going to take to our next tea party, whether it's with yourself, whether it's with your workmates, whether it's with some friends. Tea is a great way to communicate. And as I've already said, it's underestimated as a way for healing, using drink as a way for healing, drink as medicine. Okay, so let's just recap. Pain. We've got a great anti-inflammatory tea for pain, and we've been through how we can create that. We've got a fantastic tea where we talk about the healthy heart tea to really boost our cardiovascular system with antioxidants that it needs so much of. And we can sort of activate it with more of a Mediterranean feeling with it by adding lemon juice, parsley and garlic. You can add one of them, all 3 of them. It doesn't really matter. It's just an idea of activating that antioxidant sort of feeling, where it's like antioxidant tea meets Mediterranean diet. Put it together, you're off. We've looked at Thin Within as being looking at herbs that will increase your metabolism, get things going, get your fat burning happening, looking at strategies of adding a bit more protein in the tea or with separate to the tea, to just see how you can go and see how you can get into fat burning and get your fat burning going a little bit further and a little bit further and a little bit more effective. We've talked about spring, and the beginning of spring is not so long ago. You're going to be sneezing, and we want some strategies for sneezing, because I don't want you sneezing all the way through spring. And my last one, which is the one I probably drink the most, because I always want to try and do more than I think that's going to fit in for 24 hours, and that's my energizer strategies and getting some great ideas together for energy. Cool. So there are 5 of my favourite ways. There's more ways. Every Saturday morning at the pharmacy we're having tea tasting. So if you want to come in and taste them and work out what your favourite is, there'll be sort of always 1 or 2 teas in there to taste, to have a bit of a go. If you come in any other time, the odds are there's a teapot in the pharmacy to have a go and have a taste. So I hope I've inspired you to use drink as a form of medicine. It's completely underestimated how much healing that you can get from what you drink. So healing teas, make it connect with people, connect with yourself with your next herbal tea party. Have you ever had a herbal tea party? I hope you're going to have one soon. So I'll see you soon. Herbal tea parties this week. Enjoy your week. See ya.